On Sunday, when the Hamilton Tiger Cats defeated the Toronto Argonauts, it was powered through the legs of Jeremiah Masoli and the ground game. For the first time all season, the Tiger Cats leaned on their ability to run the ball rather than pass it to get a victory. How were they able to do it? Jeremiah Masoli specializes at the zone read, and he was great on Sunday afternoon, specifically in the second half after being pulled in favor of Ja'Cory Harris. He had much better communication, he got more than just a little bit of help from his friends, and he had a much more varied running attack than he did in Week 20 of the CFL season against Ottawa just 8 days earlier.
Head coach Ken Austin and offensive coordinator Tommy Condell got back to what Masoli does so well in the East semifinal against Toronto, running the zone read, which he did at an elite level at the University of Oregon. In his first action of the season, Masoli made his debut with back-to-back designed quarterback runs. While Masoli is an exceptional running quarterback, what separates him from other spread running quarterbacks in the CFL, like Edmonton's Jordan Lynch and Toronto's Adrian McPherson, is deceptive ball fakes and the ability to accurately read defenders, an opportunity he is not afforded on designed quarterback runs.
The zone read offense is predicated on one very simple thought: go where they ain't. It all depends on where the defensive end goes, and Jeremiah Masoli is very skilled at being able to read those defensive ends. In this case, if the defensive end would like to stay high and stay on Jeremiah Masoli instead of crashing down inside the box chasing the running back as he attempts to take the handoff, Masoli will simply hand off the ball and they'll work the numbers on the front side of that play, gaining yardage each and every time as they find a seam. On the other side, if the defensive end decides to dive inside and take away the running back, Jeremiah Masoli will stick it into the belly of the running back in CJ Gable and pull the ball to get the edge, at which point he can use his athleticism and speed.
The premise is fairly simple. If you have enough blockers on the front side of the play where the running back is headed and Masoli makes the right read, you should gain yardage every play. The Tiger Cats tried to run the ball in Week 20 against Ottawa with limited success. Many of the meshes between Masoli and CJ Gable were awkward, and it seemed as though Red Blacks defensive ends Sean Lemon and Justin Capicotti were making Masoli's decisions very cloudy. Despite the fact that Hamilton did have some success with the basic zone read before the end of the Ottawa experience in a 44-28 loss, it's clear the coaching staff went back to the drawing board on how to properly use the quarterback, who spent much of the season in street clothes on game day as a fourth stringer. What they returned with in the playoffs was an expanded package of plays, with many specifically designed to allow Masoli to have success.
One of the keys to Masoli's success on Sunday against the Argonauts is running the inverted veer, which accomplishes the same thing as the zone read, but it operates a little bit differently. Basically what happens is, in the zone read, you have a quarterback having a running back run across his face. At that point, the defensive end has to choose. Does he stay wide and the running back takes the carry, or does he chase the running back down inside, at which point the quarterback pulls out? Now, the defensive end is still going to have to deal with a read in this situation, but what happens is you put CJ Gable out at slot back instead of at his normal running back position, and he's going to run right across Masoli's face here in motion. He can almost take a carry because he's going to be running through that backfield. You put the defensive end in an awkward position because they have to decide whether or not they're going to widen or whether they're going to chase the quarterback on the inside. It's a different angle, and defensive ends aren't used to having to step away from the line of scrimmage. So innately what they do is take themselves out of the play many times by widening and taking away what they think is the right answer in the running back. But what happens for the Hamilton Tiger Cats when you do that? They pull Peter Diakowski around from his left guard position. He leads through the hole, and as the defensive end runs himself out of the play, you have Jeremiah Masoli gaining yards up through the inside.
Here, Masoli perfectly executes an inverted veer read on the defensive end for a gain of 9 yards. Masoli ran the inverted veer with great success at Oregon and at Ole Miss, and the Ticats coaching staff clearly took notice.
He could go all the way!
The Tiger Cats did try to use the same play in the regular season finale at Ottawa, but similar to the zone read with Masoli, it was ineffective in the nation's capital as the Red Blacks defense continued to swarm the quarterback. Expect to see Masoli run plenty of the inverted veer in the East Final after the success he had with it on Sunday. Another example of the unique game plan built around Masoli by Austin and Condell was the use of quarterback play action. With a quarterback who is equal threat run and pass, there is no need for a running back to be used in drawing the linebackers forward before a throw. In the second quarter of the East Semi, Masoli hid behind the line with his 5'11" frame while appearing to run before barely missing Andy Fantuz over the middle. Likely a play inspired by the skill set of Tim Tebow and the jump pass made famous by Urban Meyer at the University of Florida, just without the jump, or unfortunately the accuracy, which at times has been a challenge for Masoli. perhaps what the play shows more than yards gained is commitment to open-minded creativity and the willingness to adapt to Masoli's skill set at all costs in order to find playoff success. The receivers also played a massive part in the ground game's success Sunday. Many times, speedy pass catchers like Taekwon Underwood and Luke Tasker were called upon to help block large defensive ends. By blocking the backside edge defenders, there is no read for Masoli. He has to hand that off. Just an extra blocker which allows Gable to run hard, knowing he is getting the ball and can get downhill quickly. With the early success of the zone read tormenting Ricky Foley and friends, Austin's staff began to attack the defensive line in new ways. From the outside in, helping to get the edge for CJ Gable. Andy Fantuz is an absolute master of the Canadian crack block, waggling down from a slot receiver position. He's never going for the kill shot, but always on the correct hip and shoulder to help Gable get outside, and anytime you do that, oof, good things are going to happen for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Once the Argos defensive ends were aware of Fantuz's ability to trap them inside, they became hypersensitive to his presence and widened to stay away from him in case Masoli tossed the ball wide to Gable, effectively running themselves out of the play and allowing extra blockers to lead CJ Gable through the hole. It is the variety of being unblocked and read by Masoli, or trapped and pushed inside by Fantuz, which makes defensive ends think rather than play, and that is the advantage of a Jeremiah Masoli run offense. Every playoff game really comes down to 3 or 4 plays. Typically, these plays are engineered and designed to be used as finishing blows to an opponent's morale. The Tiger Cats' kill shot came in the form of Bakari Grant's third quarter touchdown, which perfectly combined all the successful elements of the Tiger Cats' offense to that point. The Ticats kept the zone read threat of CJ Gable in the backfield while showing the inverted veer with Peter Diakowski pulling around the edge to the right to lead block, which had created several positive gains in the first half. The difference here is that neither Gable nor Banks received a handoff from Masoli, and Diakowski stayed in to pass protect. While all of this was happening, Taekwon Underwood and Bakari Grant were playing an isolated game of 2-on-2 against Green and Owusa Ansah on the outside. With a pump fake from Masoli, all it took on this well-designed play was a misstep by the Argos before Bakari Grant was walking into the end zone.
And one lucky fan will go home with a game ball.
Yes, Bakari Grant's touchdown was only in the third quarter, but scoring into the win Sunday meant everything to the Ticats defense as they faced a barrage of deep, wind-aided Ricky Ray throws. Despite not putting up many points until crunch time, the Tiger Cats showed their willingness to adapt to Jeremiah Masoli, and it resulted in a more creative and productive offense, much to the pleasure of the fans and, of course, to head coach Kent Austin and his staff. Bush party tonight! Let's go! Now the question becomes, will the Red Blacks front seven contain Masoli and Gable as they did in the regular season finale, allowing only 100 yards to the Tiger Cats on the ground? Or will the two dynamic backfield partners run for 150 yards going wild as they did against the Argonauts on Sunday? Tune in to TSN 1150 Sunday to find out. I've got your pregame show at 11 a.m. live from Tim Hortons Field, with kickoff coming at 1 p.m. For TSN 1150 Hamilton, I'm Marshall Ferguson.